You guys are okay? If we go a few minutes over? Yes? You okay? Okay. Stay with me, stay focused, because it's important. It could be a life-changing. Okay? Alright. So let's just move along quickly. We must balance acid, alkaline in our body. We cannot choose. We cannot choose what comes to us in life. Anybody chose his disease or whatever happens to him? No. We cannot choose. We call it in yellow karma, but it's just a word if you don't understand it. We cannot choose life circumstances. What we can choose, tell me what we can choose.
We can do about it.
What we can do about them. So do we have a choice or not? We talk about free choice in the world. Is there a free choice? Is there? Yes. Now, you tell me, and I want you to be honest. Everybody, please look into your heart and tell me honestly, how many times you knew something is good for you and you didn't go for it? Just about every day, right? And that includes me. Just about every day, right? We know so many. Somebody is nodding no. No? No, good. So you're telling me that every day you do everything, but only everything that's good for you.
At least.
At least.
I can't stop doing it right. And I'm still here.
Okay. Okay. And we are going to talk about that. You see the process? The process, well, the key is, I should say, the key is to get to the point, stay with me, to get to the point where your natural choice is the right choice, okay? Your right choice is the natural choice. How do we get there? Again, by purifying our body and purifying our mind, we become more synchronized with a divine will. And so, thy will be done, this is what it means. Thy will be done. Naturally, I choose to do what's good for me and what's good for others. My master in his dying bed said two things. Be good and do good. That was his inheritance to the world. Be good and do good. It really sums up. I come from Israel. In our scriptures it says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Okay? And I can tell you something. One of the most healing things you can do to heal just about everything, it's very antioxidant and it's very whatever. It's this. And I'm already touching other practices, but it's this. You probably cannot say it, but it says selfless service. Why is it so important? Because for a little bit of time you take your ego out of the equation. Because that is the cause of your misery. You take that cause out of the equation, you serve others, you make them the priority, and you all of a sudden feel happy. How could that happen? Now listen to this. You feel happy, you feel fulfilled, a whole bunch of chemical reactions starts happening, and your body gets healed. Isn't that a miracle? That is why we are created as a whole. We're not just a physical body with skin and bone that needs to eat. You know? People talk about calories as if this is all we need. It doesn't matter where they come from. No! It matters. Everything matters. It matters what you're thinking. Right now, it matters what you're thinking. It matters what you're feeling. It matters whatever. What kind of thoughts you're entertaining in your mind. I'm going to cut short right into the practices because it's the most important thing. And I say reclaim your health, cleansing and nourishing. You don't just want to cleanse and leave yourself kind of dwindling empty like a lot of people do, like I did. When I was 17, I was by myself ancient Egypt. Anyway, that was in the 80s. And I started to fast. And I said, I'll just ride on that wave. I'll cleanse my body and I'll turn raw vegan. Okay? It was right about when I was 17. So I started with a 3 days fast. I saw, wow, I feel great. I said, well, I'll continue. Everybody else is starving themselves. Why not? I continued for 2.5 months on water, and on Friday evening, for my Shabbat meal, I cooked zucchinis, just a couple of zucchinis in water. If you ever ate zucchinis cooked in water with nothing else, you know that as soon as they come in, they go out. Okay? So really, and it was cooked, so not much nutrients in there. But 2.5 months on water, that's the longest I've ever heard anybody fasting. However, I dropped about 90 pounds in 2.5 months. My own father didn't recognize me. I can tell you it's not a good idea. Why I can tell you? Because I have been there. Not a good idea. Not more than 1 to 3 days on absolute, water. You can do more if you do juices. Not on fruits. Not on fruits, because you're only going to create more acids in your body. Okay? Sugar. Bad for you. I don't have time to go for the wine. You can come to my cooking raw chef course, and you'll learn all about nutrition and whatnot. But bad for you. Any kind of sugar, I don't care if it starts or it ends as sugar. Whether it's pasta or rice or what else? Or whole wheat bread, whatever it is. Even fruit. Everything is sugar. It translates into sugar, and most of us are already acidic, so we are already victims of tissue acidosis, what we call it, yeah? So that means we're just feeding parasites, we're feeding microorganisms that are actually eating those sugars, multiplying in our body, and creating more acid because, guess what? They also have to do and pee and all that other stuff inside our bodies. And that is more acid, multiplying the acid in our body. Okay? So please, you want to be healthy, just look at the color. Green. Moving to Kauai was one of the best things I've ever done in my life, because everywhere I look is alkalizing. Everywhere I look is green. So even through your eyes, if you have imagined that you only eat through your mouth, you're wrong. We eat through all of our senses. We consume through all of our senses. We eat with our eyes. I hope what you eat right now tastes good. We eat with our ears. We eat with our touch, with our hand. We eat through everything. Okay? So mind you, the question is, can we digest what we eat? Or in other words, can we assimilate what we expose ourselves to? So here's a question for you. You go to the movies, or you put the one at home, and they're shooting, and some heads are flying, and it's an action movie, like my husband really likes those, and lots of blood everywhere, the music is really harsh. How do you imagine your body, mind, and spirit can digest those impressions that you feed?
Acid.
It creates acid. Exactly. So when we talk about choices, if you haven't known until now, choices have to do with everything you do in life, because you have a choice. The victim mentality says, oh, I'm going to my grandmother, I can't. I have to eat the chicken. I have to eat the dairy. I have to eat the this. I can't be away from my friends. I have to go and be exposed myself to junk, mental impression, and junk foods, and whatever junk, or drugs, or whatever else. I have to, because otherwise I'll be, not social, right? news for you? Because everybody's looking for somebody else to do it for them, right? That's how all the doctors make their money. Because all of us are so gullible, we always look for somebody to solve our problems. But guess what? Nobody can. Nobody can. We can. We created them. We can uncreate them. Okay? We have the power. We have the power. And I want to empower you. Here's in a really quick manner what you can do. Okay? Just a side note. There are two things we cannot stop. One is time and one is acting. Life is all about time and action. What you do, what kind of actions you do in your time has to do with choices. So action equal what? Choices. Every time you act, even mentally, even when you generate a thought, which usually we don't. We react, we don't act. Right? How many of you think you're really acting in life? No. Most of us react, we don't act. So in order to start acting, it must come from a conscious choice. Conscious is the key word. Did I lose some of you here? Just nod your head. Conscious choice. That means at that very moment you have the power to make a choice. This or that. Okay? And yes, sometimes you have to choose between two evils. So choose the lesser one. And sometimes we're faced with this kind of choices. But we must choose every single moment in every day of our life. Choices. I want to leave you with that message. No matter what else you take from here today, remember, alkalize your body and mind by choosing things that are more healthy, means more alkaline, more green, more nutritious, etc., and more calming, more relaxing, more concentrating, more uplifting for your mental health and spiritual health. Okay, this is just in short because I'm already losing my breath and I ran out